VI Caribbean Connection Headline News on WSCA Radio and FocusVI.com. We'll be back with more after this.
Come down to MCH, we have great service.
Healthy body, healthy life. Being pregnant is an honorable experience that a woman goes through for 9 months. The bond between a mother and child is like no other. Being happy can lead to a healthy baby. The Virgin Islands Department of Health Project Launch Program would like to provide just a few tips to encourage pregnant moms and new moms through this COVID-19 pandemic. 1. Relax and avoid stressful situations. 2. Maintain a positive attitude with positive energy and with positive people. 3. Maintain a healthy diet and lifestyle. 4. Wash your hands frequently. 5. Exercise, which includes walking and stretching nightly. 6. Practice social distancing. 7. Pamper yourself. 8. Meditate. 9. Attend regular doctor checkups. And most of all, breathe. 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 Practice breathing techniques. Remember, you are too blessed to be stressed. In with the positive, out with the negative. Be active. Be healthy. Be happy.
Come check us out at MCH in the Virgin Islands. Brought to you by the Virgin Islands Department of Health, MCH programs.
Now, in a state of emergency, you can count on Arian's Bar and Restaurant for your daily lunch from 11 a.m. through 8 p.m. Now providing takeout service. Lunch menu includes stewed mutton, liver with onions, baked chicken, barbecue chicken, honey dip chicken, saltfish, conch in butter sauce, steamed fish, fried fish in Creole sauce, salmon balls, blackened salmon, veggie grillers, barbecue pork ribs, meatloaf, and of course, your soups of the day. All meals includes 3 sides, red peas and rice, baked macaroni and cheese, potato stuffing, sweet potatoes, dumpling, fungi, green bananas, mashed potatoes, coleslaw, fried plantain, green salad, and steamed vegetables. For fast, convenient takeout service, call 340-776-1401 or 340-998-1593 and 340-998-5174. Arian's Barn Restaurant. In a state of emergency, here to continually serve you with extended lunch hours from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Arian's Bar and Restaurant, Subway, St. Thomas. All Eyes on We, a special message from the Department of Tourism and Divisions of Festivals.
As the COVID-19 situation continues to evolve, the Department of Tourism is encouraging every Virgin Islander to heed the guidelines and recommendations issued by our local and national public health officials. These steps are being taken to protect all of us so that we can be healthy, strong, resilient Virgin Islanders who are prepared to embrace life once the crisis has resolved. Keeping our community safe is our highest priority during this difficult time. We are looking forward to a bright tomorrow, but we must do the right thing today, as this too shall pass. This special announcement from the Department of Tourism.
2020, have all eyes on we.
Lou Henley Sewage Disposal, LLC, hand wash stations and restrooms now available. With the easing of stay-at-home restrictions, it is vitally important that residents are able to follow CDC guidance and wash their hands frequently to minimize the spread of COVID-19. Consider place hand wash stations at the entrance of your stores, restaurant, and other businesses so customers could properly wash their hands before entering the building. Lou Henley Sewage Disposal, they're offering portable hand wash stations stations with 2 sinks, portable hand wash stations with 1 sink, and portable restroom with sink. For more information and questions, call 340-775-6259 or 340-693-9300 St. John, or email Lou Henley Sewage Disposal at gmail.com. Hand wash stations and restroom. Wash your hands frequently. Stop the spread of COVID-19.
As a territory, we are facing dire financial times. Our revenues are down, as could be expected, and we have joined the delegate and other governors, mayors, and political leaders in lobbying Congress to bring some relief to state governments. The HEROES Act, I'm sure you've heard about it. It is supported by our administration, certainly our champion, the Delegate Plaskett in D.C. It has passed the House. And that bill proposes to allocate $2.25 billion in direct funding to the territory, along with other benefits as well. But it still has to be approved by the Senate before it can be passed. But they cannot act fast enough on this bill. As we all know, our revenues are way down and we need the help. This is much needed aid, and it would go a long way towards the financial tsunami that is mounting as this pandemic continues. As I've said before, no one seems to have a good grip on how long this will last or if the virus will resurface in the fall. We must be conservative in all our ways, especially in spending our money, whether it is general fund or federal fund dollars. We can't start spending too soon and not have enough money to last us through the entire pandemic. All the problems that we had before this pandemic, those problems have not gone away. Last week, GRS issued a letter to me recommending a 42% cut in benefit payments. Clearly, this is not an option. While we cannot fix the entire GRS situation in one fell swoop, we do have things that we can do. We have pending legislation in the Cannabis Act that will start to chip away at the problem. We continue to work in Washington to identify a funding source for the GRS, and we continue to lobby to get the cash infusion needed for the gasoline tax at Hovensa. But these things are not in our control. They are up to the federal government. We must act on the things that are in our control. We have listened to the concerns of the public and our senators. There is so much to do, and we are getting it done. It is an incredible balancing act to manage the recovery, the current budget crisis, and this pandemic, which is far from over. You know, this weekend as I toured the island, watching many of you gather on the beaches and your children play in the water and the surf, the state of emergency and the coronavirus pandemic seems so far away. It almost seemed normal. Let me assure you, it is not. While we understand that you seek to find a new sense of normalcy, these are not normal times. We are in a state of emergency, and I will continue to caution you, do not take this virus lightly. We have all witnessed how deadly it can be. Stay vigilant. Remember, you are always safer at home. Stay safe and stay sanitized. The long-term problem in terms of diversity is expanding into our marine division as we did, introducing cannabis legislation so we can start to have that revenue percolate in our economy, because beside from the just general revenue that we create, there's going to be jobs, there's going to be withholding taxes, there's going to be equipment that has to be bought and maintained, there's going to be rent being paid, stores and shop fronts being open. Then you have our technology push that we're really looking at. RT Park has seen incredible growth in the last couple of years. We're doubling down on that effort. And of course, the recovery. We still have $400 or $500 million per year in capital projects that we have to invest in the economy. So there are a lot of different ways that we're doing this. Another one is the trust and wills. We have, I keep saying this, and people are probably sick of hearing me saying it, but 89 people pay 66% of our revenues, a definite push in order to attract high net worth individuals back to the territory. Healthcare is a huge opportunity for us, as most of our populace is over 50 years now. We have continued to push our infrastructure and healthcare pieces. We should have the temporary hospital in St. Croix finished late this summer, and then we have the architectural and engineering RFP issued in order for the design and rebuild of that hospital. Myra Keating, I think the architectural and engineering is out for that as well, putting that back. So we have we still have a lot of construction projects that we continue to do. The expansion of our transshipment and cargo port, which we are taking a lot of licks on now because cruise ships are not in the Caribbean. Over half of all the traffic that comes through the Caribbean from the U.S. comes through the Virgin Islands. So we're expanding both port facilities. You can see it going on there at Adelita Cancrine in St. Thomas, and the same thing is going on at the container port in St. Croix. We continue to work with Senator Novell Francis on the free trade zone bill, which will open us up into manufacturing and bringing in stuff from foreign places duty-free. We look forward to the completion of the projects at WAPA that brings down the price of energy, which will now allow us to attract more manufacturing companies to the territory. So there's a lot of things going on there, including a $40 million institution by the National Guard that they're building at the St. Croix Airport, which is expanding our flight operations at that airport. I listen to people talk about diversity. I've been in the economic development business for a while, and I've studied it even as a high school student. We've been talking about diversity for a long time. We have a very finite economy. The way we make and multiply what we have here is by investing in our people and giving them a solid education. We have over 30% of our population that lives below the poverty line. How do we get them to make money? Right now is a perfect time in the world, because if you can work from anywhere, why not work from here? A place that's 85 degrees.
Exactly.
But we got some issues now. We got to get these infrastructure projects done, and we got to get a hospital built out to a point where people feel comfortable working from our beautiful Virgin Islands.
St. Croix Senator Givens.
Officers have been working in a building with very poor conditions, and as a result have been forced to operate out of the mobile command unit without adequate space for performing all of their duties. This proposed facility will be hardened in the event of a major storm and will resolve many ongoing logistical and labor concerns. VIPD must have a secured, functional, and permanent station in Frederiksted. Further, this government must construct and maintain its own buildings. We should not be paying exorbitant rents for what are often substandard facilities. During today's hearing, I had to be somewhat critical, as we are at a crisis point in terms of violent crimes. And I was very disappointed in the responses from both the police department and the Office of the Attorney General. It is my job to make sure these officials do theirs, but it is important as well to note that I have always made a point to help ensure that local law enforcement has the resources required to be effective. We can't have people working in moldy offices and cramming multiple units into a small mobile command and expect the desired results.
We did get the Hologic, and that's the machine that allows us to test over 1,000 tests per day. We have received the reagents for that machine. We are actually waiting. We did all the validation tests. Now we're waiting for FDA to give us approval to actually use that machine, and that will be done hopefully by June 1st. We're looking at that. That is the expected date. We expected before, but we give a June 1st date for that. Yes, that will include repeat testing if needed with the guidelines, especially for healthcare providers. That's one of the things that we're looking at right now.
Okay, so you expect at least somewhere mid-June to be able to perform the mass testing, is what you're saying?
No, I actually didn't address mass testing. I did indicate that by June 1st, we were expected to get the FDA approval to utilize the machine. In terms of mass testing, we're developing a testing plan at this point in time, which could include mass testing. Of course, mass testing is conducted when you see wide community spread. We have not seen wide community spread.
Okay, and one clarification, the repeat testing, have we had any repeat testing in the tests we've had so far?
Yes, we actually had, and we had an interesting conversation this morning with Dr. Ellis. There's something that Brett Ellis, actually, the director of the lab, described it as viral wasting. And basically what it is that after 3 weeks, and he said you don't normally see it after 3 weeks, but you may see a positive test coming after 3 weeks, and it's not because the person is still contagious, but because it's an RNA, the ribonucleic acid, it's an RNA shedding. It is in the body, and it's shedding, and so, but not necessarily contagious. And but we are still being very cautious because this is something that not only the VI, but nationally and internationally, they're now seeing more often. And so we're looking at that. Dr. Ellis is going to come back to us with more of a clarification once the epidemiology group nationally hears more information on that.
Putting on your mask and making sure that you don it properly. So we have our commissioner here to give you some tips as well again. Commissioner Encarnacion.
And not only putting on the mask, it's actually taking off the mask sometimes is most critical. And so, first of all, thank you, Governor and Mr. Schuster, for the information that you shared today. It's important that when you take off your mask, you make sure that you take it off, but you're not touching the outside of the mask. And we had our safety officer, Kathleen Lewis, here teaching you that. We're actually going to bring her back so she could continue doing that teaching. Doing one episode of that, I think we need a little bit more. So remember, as you take your mask off, you actually take your mask, you don't touch your front, and you put it down, you put it in a plastic bag, and you put it in your bag, so when you need it again, you have it. And of course, not just putting your mask and taking it off, but washing your hands, using hand sanitizers. There's another aspect of that also. We're saying no mask, no service, and I think we're doing very good with that. We want to make sure that individuals who are lined up outside are also taking heed to social distancing. So what we're seeing, our health officials as well as our environmental health team as we go around, we're seeing that you're actually putting your mask on to go inside, but prior to that, you're staying close to each other outside. And we know that coronavirus, the COVID-19, it seems as though every week we hear something different, something new about it. And so because of that, one of the things that we're hearing now is that speaking loud, singing, coughing, of course, is one of those things. And how long does it stay in the air around you? We're not quite sure. So that's why that 6 feet social distancing is so important. We want you to continue to do that, as the governor said. Do not put your guard down just because we haven't seen positive cases within a few days. We're still indicating, we're still testing, and we want to make sure that if you have any signs or any symptoms related to COVID-19, and including cough, symptoms of a cold, aches and pains, gastrointestinal or diarrhea, vomiting, anything related to that. Of course, with children, looking at inflammatory diseases coming to us that we did not expect or see before. So any of those are reasons why you should call 340-712-6299, 340-712-6299, or 340-776-1519. Another reminder, we're now going to be giving out guidances and public health notices as well to the public. One of the ones that we're looking at right now is dentistry. Dentistry, of course, you know that when you sit in a dentist chair, you have a lot of spraying. And so we're asking dentists to be very careful because we don't want to, it's not just about protecting the community that's coming in, but it's also protecting the staff that you have working with you. So guidances went out this morning, and so we're asking you to adhere to those guidances, protect your staff, protect yourself, and it goes back to, If you wear your mask, you're not just protecting others, you're protecting you. So all I ask is for you to be safe and keep the ones around you safe. That's why one of the recommendations from CDC says that you want to wear masks that are multi-layered, and that if you see the ones that actually have different layers to them, and let me show you this. This actually, the mask that's there. So when you actually can wash this mask, I've actually washed it about 3 times. So I've taken it up, I fold it up, and I put it away. So when you wash it, it has to be sturdy enough, but it cannot be too thick that it inhibits you from breathing comfortably.
We'll be back with VIPD updates after this.
Attention contractors, homeowners, and those preparing for home repairs. Great news for you. St. Thomas now has its own GalvaLume factory. VIGalvalume factory located at Four Winds Plaza behind the dry cleaners. First, VIGalvalume is the only GalvaLume provider in St. Thomas with DP&R required 24-gauge materials. Next, at VIGalvalume, your panels are made 43 inches wide, the widest on island, and to any length required. Customers are welcomed to be unique, as panels are available in a wide variety of colors, and colors can be customized as well. Enjoy customized drip edges, ridge caps, and rake edges, to list a few. Best of all, VIGalvalume boasts the quickest turnaround time, as orders can be made available within hours or 24 hours at max. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., weekends by orders or request. Just call 340-513-0058, 347-457-8410. Take advantage of 5% off your order by indicating code 1340. VIGalvalume Factory, covering the VI one roof at a time.
Come down to MCH, we have great service.
Mommy, I ready to go back to school. I tired of the Rona.
Honey, how many times do I have to tell you it's the coronavirus, honey? The coronavirus.
I'm sorry, Mommy, the coronavirus. But I thought you tell me only nurses and doctors needed to wear a mask. My friends say everybody have to wear a mask.
Well, honey, it's true. The Department of Health and the CDC now requires everyone to wear a mask. No mask, no service.
Ooh, so now I could get a Barbie mask?
I'm not sure about a Barbie one, but you can get a mask. And remember, you still have to wash your hands for 20 seconds while singing the Happy Birthday song.
Yeah, Mommy, and don't forget, Avalanche say, be wise and sanitize. And my other friends say, if you is a loner, you ain't gonna get a Rona.
It's the coronavirus, honey. But yes, it's safer to stay at home. But if we do have to go out, we will continue to practice social distancing with our masks on, staying 6 feet away from everybody.
Yeah, Mommy, because my baby sister rich and I don't want her to get the Rona. I mean the coronavirus.
I don't know where you get these things.
We serve pediatrics, prenatal and immunization. Come check us out at MCH in the Virgin Islands. Brought to you by the Virgin Islands Department of Health, MCH programs.
The Atlantic hurricane season begins on June 1st and lasts through November 30th. Please take necessary steps to protect you, your family, and the community.
Begin collecting supplies such as bottled waters and non-perishable food, batteries, radios, games for children.
Don't forget about your pets and especially your elderly family. Take time now to trim trees, install or check shutters. Talk to children about hurricanes and allow them to pack their own go bags.
These activities can help reduce anxiety in the event of a storm. We're a small community.
Together we can ensure our islands, homes, and families remain prepared for hurricanes.
Register for Alert VI emergency notification by visiting vitema.vi.gov. Make a plan.
Be prepared.
Stay informed.
The Virgin Islands Police Department police officers and civilian support staff provide services to the general public 24/7. This department has the responsibility to provide professional service to you at all times. The VIPD is working harder to meet that goal. Please get into the habit of using the compliment forms to commend officers who provide a quality standard of service. It's a morale booster for the recipient. If an officer or civilian needs to improve their customer service, feel free to submit a complaint form. Compliment and complaint forms are available in the lobby of all police stations, at public libraries, some government businesses, and from any patrol officer. Desk officers can also assist you to complete this form. Secure drop boxes are at all police station lobbies. Just insert your form, and internal affairs agents will process your complaint or compliment impartially and fairly. This message is brought to you by the Virgin Islands Police Department.
The VIPD Firearms Investigation Unit enforces the rules and regulations, laws, policies, and procedures that govern the licensing of firearms within the U.S. Virgin Islands. It is also responsible for ensuring that applicants are properly investigated and meet all the qualifications required by law prior to being granted a firearms license. The unit is also responsible for court presentations and home and business inspections. The unit is the record keeper of all firearm registrations in the territory. The Firearms Unit recommends that you do not bring your mainland licensed firearm into our islands if you will be visiting without contacting the Firearms Unit. Bringing unlicensed firearms into the territory will result in those firearms being confiscated, and you may be prosecuted in accordance to the laws of the U.S. Virgin Islands. When traveling to the United States Virgin Islands, our law requires that if you come into the U.S. Virgin Islands with a firearm, you must immediately contact the Firearms Unit at 340-778-2211 or 340-774-2211. You will be arrested if you are found in possession of an unregistered firearm.
Crime Stoppers USVI.
If someone provides information to Crime Stoppers that leads to an arrest, does that person have to come forward at trial to testify? And two, if they do not come forward to testify, how is the individual prosecuted in a court of law?
No, you are not required to testify, and many tipsters that have provided tips in the past that have led to arrests, the arrestee has been convicted and has been sentenced based on Crime Stopper tips. So warrants can be secured based on Crime Stopper tips as well as sentencing. So you do not have to testify. Submitting the tip will, at that point, relinquish you from anything further. We do have some tipsters that do want to testify. They do get the reward and they testify, but it is not a prerequisite.
Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS or online at www.crimestoppersvi.org. I'm Glenn Drake for Crime Stoppers and the VIPD.
Now we go to Toby DeRima, Public Information Officer for the VIPD.
The VIPD Traffic Investigation Bureau is advising the motoring public that starting Tuesday, May 26 at 8 a.m., the entrance into the Siam Farm community on Queen Mary Highway will be closed for needed repairs. There will be no vehicular traffic allowed in or out of Siam Farm at that intersection. Motorists wishing to enter the Siam Farm community will have to take the channelized left turn lane eastbound. Westbound motorists will have to pass the intersection, make a safe, legal U-turn, and use the channelized left turn lane. Motorists wishing to exit the Siam Farm community southbound will be detoured behind the Siam Farm shopping center to exit out of the mall adjacent to the gas station that is under construction. This road closure is expected to be in place until May 31st. The VIPD regrets any inconvenience this may cause. For more information, please contact the Traffic Investigation Bureau at 340-778-2211. The Virgin Islands Police Department is looking for 29-year-old Jabbar Mactavius in connection to a homicide that occurred on April 16th in the Tutu area. Mactavius is a black male, 6 feet 1 inch tall, and weighs 180 pounds. The VIPD is asking anyone who knows Mactavius' whereabouts to call 911, the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 340-774-2211, or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-8477. On May 22nd, law enforcement officers executed a search warrant in Estate White Lady, arresting Alik J. Hatchett, age 20 of Estate Wim. He was charged with possession of stolen property. Hatchett was in possession of an item belonging to the victim that was kidnapped from downtown Frederiksted on May 20th. Bail for Hatchett was set at $25,000 as per chart. Unable to post bail, he was turned over to the custody of the Bureau of Corrections pending his advice of rights hearing. The investigation continues into this matter. Persons with information that can assist police are asked to call 911, the crime tip line at 340-778-4950, or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS. On May 23rd at approximately 5:59 a.m., the VIPD Criminal Investigation and Special Operations Bureaus conducted a joint operation resulting in the arrest of 35-year-old Jonathan Scribner of Spratt Hall. Scribner was charged with third-degree burglary stemming from an incident that occurred on November 11, 2019, at a residence in Estate Wim. Bail for Scribner was set at $30,000, which he was unable to post. He was subsequently turned over to the custody of the Bureau of Corrections, pending his advice of rights hearing. On May 23rd at around 4:03 a.m., the 911 emergency call center received a report of an attempted robbery in Mumbiju. The adult male victim reported that he was outside his residence when a man dressed in all black approached him and demanded his jewelry. A struggle ensued between the victim and the suspect, who pulled out a gun. One shot was discharged in the altercation, hitting the victim. The suspect fled the area and the victim was transported to the Wang F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center by a relative for treatment. The injury was not considered life-threatening and the victim was listed in stable condition. This case is under investigation. If you have information that can help police find the person responsible for this incident, you are asked to call 911, the crime tip line at 340-778-4950, or Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS. On May 21st at approximately 7:21 p.m., VIPD detectives arrested 40-year-old Kaleem Riera of Paul M. Pearson Gardens and charged him with simple assault, domestic violence. Riera is accused of striking his intimate partner in the face with a closed fist, causing visible injuries on May 19th. Riera was not offered bail as per the territory's domestic violence laws. He was turned over to the custody of the Bureau of Corrections pending his advice of rights hearing. This is Toby Derima, Public Information Officer for the Virgin Islands Police Department.
You've been listening to VI Caribbean Connection, Headline News on WSTA Radio and FocusVI.com.